Today we're going to look at the Minotaurs based on the 1990 Buffalo Bills. The Minotaurs represent the beginning of a great Bills dynasty that made 4 consecutive Super Bowls. They use the No Huddle Offense and have an above-average 3-4 defense, and they've got 3 special rules: the No Huddle Offense, Slow Huddle, and Wide Right. 2 of these are actually negative modifiers because the No Huddle Offense is so powerful. The Minotaurs feature 3 different formations on offense. Slot form is their run heavy, shotgun is their balanced formation, and 4 wide is their pass heavy. On defense, the Minotaurs feature a 3-4 run heavy defense, nickel is their balanced defense, and dime is their pass heavy. The no-huddle offense runs less clock and creates free yardage in uncontested gains. Let's take a closer look at how the no-huddle offense works. Most teams in breakaway football offer 2 challenge flags, but notice the Minotaurs have space for only 1. This represents a disproportionate amount of luck impacting the Minotaurs' play. However, the other challenge flag ends up being used to track their progress on the no huddle. So we'll advance the token for free yardage downs, and it works like this. The first time the Minotaurs use a card on a drive, they will actually place the token here. This represents that they used a card on the drive. On the next down, instead of using a play card, they can simply take a run of 1. Next, they would use another card on their next down. And on the next play, they get a free gain of 2 as a pass. Then they would use another card. Assuming the drive is continuing, they could take yet another free gain of 2. Then they would use a 4th card, and if the drive is still continuing, they would take a free gain of 3. What this means is that on an 8-play drive, the Minotaurs will only use 4 cards, and they will gain 5, 6, 8 yard lines of free yardage untimed. Let's open up a fresh game. We've got the Minotaurs playing against the Lightning, and the Minotaurs have chosen to receive the kick. This value of 1 puts the ball out at the 15-yard line. They've got a 1st and 1. The Minotaurs come out in a slot form versus the Lightning's 4-3, and we see that the play is a weak dive, which is an inside run, against man-to-man. No breakaway here, and it's a minimum gain of 1, so this will be a gain of 1. We flip the game day card and see that, if only they had thrown, it would have been a blown coverage touchdown, but instead, it is a gain of 1. Now, because they used 1 card, we move the token here. The Minotaurs now have the option to take a free gain of 1. They don't have to do this, but they can, and so we will do that. Notice that we've moved here to 1. It's now 1st down. By taking the free 1, it is now 2nd down and 5. That is a free untimed down. Notice that there's only 1 card in the discard, and we are able to move into the next down, 2nd and 5 from the 25. The Lightning come out now with a dime coverage against the 4 wide on 2nd and 5, and we're going to see that this is a screen pass versus man-to-man. 5 on 4 right now is a gain of 1, and we see what the game day card gives us. Pancake block, which has no impact on this play, and that would be a gain of 1. It is now 3rd down. Because we used a card, we advance this track here. It is now possible for the Minotaurs to take a gain of 2 on an untimed down. However, it is 3rd down, and a gain of 2 would only get them to the 40, which would leave them with a 4th and 2. So the Minotaurs can opt to wait to take that free yardage until after this next play. The Minotaurs have chosen shotgun against dime, and we see the matchup is a power O versus prevent. This is a 3 on 0, which is a gain of 3 on the surface. Let's see what the game day deck gives us. And it's a face mask after the run. Now, if the Lightning choose to challenge that and negate this, it is still a gain of 3 on the run, 1, 2, 3, which makes it 4th down. Notice, though, that we cannot advance the track until we take the free gain. So even though we've called 3 cards and we could ostensibly be here, we can't. We have to move each space on the track in order. So it makes sense. On 4th and 1, we can take our free 2 and get the first down, right? Nope, that's not how it works. Slow huddle prevents that. In slow huddle, we have to flip the token to the red challenge flag side, which means that the progression on the track stops when a defensive breakaway occurs, when they take a timeout on defense, or when it is 4th down. Unfortunately, it is now 4th down, so we have to flip this over, which means we are now in slow huddle. While we are in slow huddle, it means that if the next play is a defensive breakaway, it creates a turnover. And if it's not a defensive breakaway, we're going to flip that token back to the no huddle side and continue the drive. So we'd really like to take this free 2. If we can just get one more, we'll be able to extend the drive and get more free yardage. So it's now 4th down. They're going to go for it with a shotgun call, which is an inside run versus tight run from the Lightning. So right now, with a minimum gain of 1, this will be enough to get the first down. Let's see what the game day card gives us. And that is a penalty for intentional grounding, which obviously has no impact on the run. This is a pass only, and so that is going to be a gain of 1 and a first down. Now it's 1st and 6, and because we have successfully gotten our first down, we are going to be able to flip this back over to the no huddle side, and if we choose, we can now advance it and take our free untimed down with a gain of 2. That means we go ahead and march it 2 down, and it is now 2nd down. This is how the no huddle works, and notice that because we've gotten first downs, we've extended the drive, which means we can continue this particular drive as we go. We are now 2nd down and 4 from the 40, and we see that we've got slot form short pass versus nickel press, and that is a breakaway for the defense. So this minimum gain of 1 does not come into play. Instead, we're going to pull a game day card, and we're going to see that it is avoiding the pass interference. We're going to take the -1. So the Lightning actually get a sack here, and the act of getting this defensive breakaway actually creates an opportunity to go into slow huddle. So we've used a card, so we advance down, but the token now flips. And notice, when in slow huddle, essentially now the Minotaurs need to dodge a defensive breakaway on the next play, or else they will turn the ball over. 3rd and 5 now from the 45, and we see a shotgun versus nickel. The matchup is a special run versus blitz. This is a 3-on-1, no breakaway here, so it should be a gain of 2, pending the game day deck. And the call is a holding call. So this is a decline would be no effect, except would actually back the offense up 2. So an interesting choice from the Lightning here. They can allow a gain of 2, which would put them at the 35 and a 4th down, or they could back them up even further to require a longer distance. We'll assume that they decline the penalty, forcing a 4th and long. But notice, this would flip this token over now that they've avoided slow huddle. However, because it is 4th down, it flips right back. They're staying in slow huddle here because coming out of that defensive breakaway, they're in slow huddle, and on 4th down, they're in slow huddle. Here, the Minotaurs will opt to take the field goal because there's a lot of risk here. If they get a defensive breakaway, it's going to be a turnover. They could turn the ball over on down, so they're simply going to kick it. They need a 7 or better to get the kick, and it is an 8. So that is a good field goal, and so that drive results in 3 points. Let's pick up the action now very late in the game. The Minotaurs are down 14-13. It is 4th quarter with only 1 card left in the game. They have the ball at the 30. They're ready to kick a field goal, and they want to try to win this game with a field goal. So they're going to burn their last card on a field goal attempt. Now, because the Minotaurs have wide right, which is in the 4th quarter after an opponent timeout, it is a -2 to the kick. The Lightning will call this timeout. This is specifically a timeout to activate wide right, so you don't pull a card back. Because the distance is 6, we are going to subtract 2 from the card here on the game day card, which means effectively we need an 8 or better to make this kick. The kick is up, and it is a 6. Minus 2 is a 4. This is actually going to be a miss, wide right, and the Minotaurs will lose this game. One thing to notice is that the No Huddle Offense restarts the track at the beginning of every drive, so that progression that we showed is for a specific drive, and it will always start back at the top of that track for the next drive. Slow Huddle doesn't end the cycle, it simply flips the token and makes you have to work a little harder to get back into that rhythm. And notice that wide right, you do not draw a discard. Instead, your opponent is using that timeout to impose a -2 to the field goal game day value.